Good morning, Samoa, and welcome to Star Trek, almost said Picard, Season 1, Episode 10, or as we true fans know it, Episode 2, the Corbomite Maneuver. Now, if you don't know how this works, I'm gonna give the little brief right at the start. Basically, this is a watch-along, as the title suggests. But for legal reasons, obviously, I can't just stream the entirety of the Corbomite Maneuver. So as it says on screen, you're going to want to get a copy of the episode somehow on a disc, on streaming, whatever. Link to streaming in the description. And then eventually, we're going to do a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. On go, we're all going to hit play, and then it'll be synced up. I am watching the remastered as always, but it doesn't matter time-wise. You can watch whatever the heck you want. And I think that's the rules. Yes, the Corbomite Maneuver. A good episode. Not the episode I thought we were going to be watching today. I thought we were going to be watching Mud's Women, because this is the third watch-along. But then I remembered we were doing the cage. We did the cage. So I'm like, oh, maybe not that one. The Man Trap. The Salt Vampires. But it turns out that's like, I think episode 10, ironically enough, production order. Oh yes, we're doing production order, as always, because it's better, basically. But yeah, the Corbomite Maneuver, good episode. Totally got derailed. I had something I was going to say immediately after that, and
I'm reading a version of Sonic with a gay platypus. That's
no,
only half the joke.
No Alex today, which is ironic, given we just heard Alex. Just me. But,
I won't be contributing much. I am having, some biological difficulties, as I'll put it.
Yeah, I am gonna give just a few minutes in case people have to set up the episode. But, yeah, some interesting stuff with the Corbomite Maneuver. It's notable for a few reasons I'm sure we'll get into as the episode goes on. But this stuff is basically just to fill the gap until Strange New Worlds. There was something. God dang it, it was important. I don't know. I'll give it another minute, and then I will do the main countdown. God dang it. I'm gonna hit play, and then I'm gonna remember, and I'm gonna be like, dang, it's too complex for the actual episode. I can't tell you about it now, but thank you. One concurrent viewer is it you?
No, it's not me.
Good, thank you, one concurrent viewer, for staying through the stream. Alright, I hope
Usually
we have...
it's me, but it's not me this time.
I hope we have, everyone's ready, by which I mean the one person, but there's also people on the video. So again, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, and on go, we're all gonna hit play. Oh, and if you have... if you have buffering issues, internet troubles, try just turning the quality on this stream down to 0, because you don't need the video. Where's my timer? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. That felt good. Usually that feels a bit off, but that one felt good. It's always perfect, because, you know, I'm watching my timer, my recording timer, as we do this, but... Stand by to photograph. They have a view screen. They're gonna look at the thing later. Did they launch a probe? Like, if they have... This isn't even a photograph. God dang it, Spock. Why are you so bad? We love you, Spock, but you're so bad. You think he'd know that?
There's also what seems to be a lesbian lemur and a lesbian wolf.
Alex is kind of commenting on an entirely separate series of events today.
Oh, Alex is commenting on Sonic, the IDW comic.
I like how physical all the levers and stuff are, but it's kind of weird because usually sets aren't like that. Like even in the 60s, did they Foley in big clinks and clanks and stuff? Or was the Enterprise set just really well built? I don't actually know. I mean, it's TOS, they never had a budget, so I'd be amazed if it was well built. Actually, the one time Enterprise or TOS had a budget was the Cage, which I think went like ludicrous. It was the most expensive pilot ever produced, and so yeah, maybe it is just an incredibly well built set. Oh, like most of TOS, I seem to recall this episode's got a fair amount of flashing lights and potential seizure warning. You can probably look up seizure warning guides if you need to for TOS, but like everything from the 1960s, it's you know, just be aware of that. Wait, they just called Captain Kirk to the bridge. Didn't they go to Red Alert? Was Kirk like sitting in his quarters reading a book or something? I don't know. That's what Kirk does. And like the ship went to Red Alert, and he's like, if they really need me, Spock's gonna call. There's Mars. It's Mars in my head every time. In my head, that red planet from the remastered intro is Mars, because it looks a lot like Mars. I think I recognize some features, but it's also not quite Mars. It's hard to tell. And so in my head, if it's not Mars and Vulcan, it's Vulcan. And I have no idea why that's in my head. Oh my god, I remember that thing being much bigger. Why did Eaglemoss never make that cube? Come on.
If you want that cube so bad, just buy a light-up Rubik's Cube.
Oh, look. They've oiled up Shatner already for his first scene to kick the wall a bit. Are those real things? Because I've always kind of liked them. Like, it's clearly... God, I wouldn't want to do that. But also, it's a bit ridiculous.
It's basically one of those step machines.
I don't know. I think the only other place I've seen them is I think Strange New Worlds might have them, but I'm not sure. Why wouldn't you have Red Alert in the sick bay? Like, yes, this is why he didn't come the first time, but that's a huh. They do, but years ago, the first thing he did on this ship, Bones removed the speakers from the sick bay. Almost Bones, not quite. What the heck is that guy wearing in the back that was not a Starfleet uniform? I feel like this shot is great to show how Kirk's jacket isn't actually green. I know he has a green one, but that's a green towel, and that's a yellow shirt. But the camera lighting can make yellow look very green in TOS. So these yellow shirts, they are actually yellow. I'm pretty sure I've seen them. I've seen Spock's. It's in Seattle, but do you know that, Alex? Spock's uniform, and I think his ears are in Seattle at the Museum of Pop Culture.
I wouldn't know.
We should go.
We should go.
They've got some good stuff in there, actually, if you're ever in the area. Well, we've already gone through a lot of this episode. I'm curious when there's 45 minutes left, if this episode is 15 minutes, that in a modern show you just would have gone, yeah, cut this. I mean, I always like the well, I don't always like the pacing of TOS, but it's usually, I really like the slower style when you actually have 50 minutes to fill. I also love how not once someone's gone like, what the heck is this random cube? Like, they're just so professional and like, yeah, this is our job. We come across random cubes all the time. He didn't even ask what it was then. They just know. This is great. Oh, there we go. He's finally set almost 8 minutes in. Someone's asked what the thing is. I like that, by the way. That's a compliment, but what, you don't have to be that professional in Star Trek, but I do like it in TOS. Oh, I was wondering. I noticed earlier that's not the Cage Enterprise. Like the deflector's smaller, the engines are the new style. Then I remembered I'm watching the remastered version, so they probably. That's kind of weird, because they're usually really faithful in the remaster. But yeah. Oh my god, I forgot there's styrofoam cups. I should put the name of the episode on screen. I've just realized. This is the Corbomite maneuver if you're just joining us. Oh, it's in the title. Duh. People are going to realize. Almost at the 15-minute mark. I think it is. I think the first 15 minutes of the Corbomite maneuver you would cut in, like, in a modern show, and it would work just as well. But then you don't get this setup. I like the setup. I'd love it if a modern episode did that in the streaming era. They just, like, it's a 45-minute show, but one of the episodes is just 50 minutes randomly, because, like, you know, it has 15 minutes of setup that's kind of slower it wants to do. I know we sometimes get that, but they're still pretty consistent, I think. Is it ever explained how the ships move backwards. Like, I get how you could do it at warp, but at impulse, they do actually have, like, quote-unquote engines that do point from the back and aren't with the center of gravity mass. Probably mass in space. But, I've always wondered, like, how Impulse... I think Impulse is probably the least explained thing in Star Trek. It's just like, yeah, it works. It needs crystals. It's Impulse. Boop, boop, boop. Fucking Bailey is just... Pew pew. The old 60s shake acting where you just desperately grab onto the set and fall over and then don't move at all. I've just realized this is unintentional, but this TOS watch is going to be really interesting because Kirk is in the next season of Strange New Worlds, isn't he? I mean, someone named Kirk. No, let's not get negative in TOS. Barely a smile. Leonard Nimoy still learning how not to smile. Helmsman engineering decks could have been faster. I think you need to hail Sulu about that one. Sulu? Scotty. Dang it, I did it as well. They're both S names, that's why he gets them confused. It's his second day on the job. Hey, we're getting there. 15 minutes. Yeah, you basically could start the episode a minute from now and it'd work about the same. Is that Strange New Worlds? I think it's definitely Strange New Worlds, but is that season 2? No, that's the Klingon War. God, is that what Kirk was like during the Klingon War? Ugh, how'd he make captain? Wait, is he captain or lieutenant? I don't remember. I think he's lieutenant. I wonder if this was going to be a running thing that they dropped. Like, Bones would constantly say things and then deny saying them later. Oh yeah, it's one of these scenes. I'm used to rainbow cubes. Yeah. I mean, it's even weirder that I'm pretty sure we never see a single male yeoman in the entire show. Maybe we do, but I don't. Nope. I honestly don't even know why he doesn't like having a female yeoman either. Which is good, because it means society has progressed in the past 60 years. But yeah. Join us next week for Mud's Women.
I heard women. What are we watching? I'm
No,
gay.
no, you don't. When I bring up women in TOS, you don't want to join.
Oh, you're right. Hey, look, Spock, my favorite woman character. For anybody who doesn't know, I'm gay.
Spock standing right next to Uhura.
Do you like how I just heard the word women? I'm like, yes, hello, I'm here.
Here we go. I own one of those.
What happened in this episode? I forgot.
You don't remember the Corbomite maneuver? I showed you pictures yesterday.
Now
I remember.
Oh yeah, with Squidward.
When I played Star Trek Online for the first time, I noticed very quickly the big circle of warning beacons, and in the middle it said they all said First Federation warning beacons. First thing I did was fly past those beacons. Boop, boop, boop. I always like this ship. It's I don't know, it's weird. Does it? Wait, it's a mile in diameter and it goes off your scale. Isn't your job to survey, suns, planets, and black holes? Black hole, is it denser than a black hole then, which would make it a black hole? Boop, boop, boop. Wait, so that's how big the Enterprise J is, diameter-wise. Close. I mean, technically, I guess it is United Earth, but... Lieutenant, that's Uhura's job. He glances at Uhura, like, damn it, Uhura, that's your job. How dare you? I like the smooth ships. If this was any other ship, just the whole bridge would explode. All the consoles. Bam. Dang it, Mr. Bailey. Mr. Bailey, you're fired. I'm taking this out of your paycheck, which you don't get. But it's the harshest punishment I can think of. Isn't that weapons? I don't know the TOS bridge as well. No, that's not. Who is that usually? I always forget. It's like ops or something random. It's something generic to me and you could do anything. Yes, Gene Roddenberry wrote that line. Love that line. Can we take this speech and give it to, like, anyone who joins the Star Trek team has to listen to that speech? That was great. Anyone who writes Star Trek should have to watch the Corbomite maneuver. Not in, like, a you have to do this, but, like, you need this spirit in it. Except maybe you don't watch the bits with Lieutenant Bailey. Is he Lieutenant? Go invent the PIP system, guys. There's handsome Squidward. I like how that's how they decided to do distortion. Did they not like the quality of the puppet, or did they just think it looked good? Because, like, we see this later. It's not like there's water or anything in the way. It looks so much like a puppet as well. Oh God, I remember this terrifying me as a kid. Like, I couldn't really watch Star Trek as a kid. I was always, like, under a blanket or something because it terrified me. I love this scene, too. No, he's starting a countdown. I love that. I'm really tempted to make a tasteful, people who don't like the slowness of Star Trek joke here, but I can't think of a tasteful one. I do love that line though. It's like, oh, now he's starting a countdown. I like the idea of a species that intentionally seeks out misunderstanding. Like,
That's just
Just
cute.
the chaotic neutrals of the
That's
galaxy.
just cute.
That'd be a fun thing to add to the Star Trek universe, just like the chaotic neutral of the galaxy.
That's just cute.
Yeah, but like not a god. You know, that'd be kind of fun.
That's just
You're
powered
right
down
though.
Q. You basically want me to be in Star Trek.
They'd have to be like a Bajor or a Cardassia, like a small local power.
Keeping up with the Kardashians.
But I don't know.
You basically want.
It's cute. Yeah, Alex
as
is
a
right though. It
species.
is cute. Is it? I don't think that's how chess works. Dang it, Spock, why are you so bad? You're so good, but you're so bad. It's like, dang it, Bones, this is why we need to invent the ready room. They're just kind of weird, actually. They have, like, the meeting room, but the Enterprise just doesn't really have a place that the senior officers can go off the bridge, like, right there and be. Okay. It's been featured in Star Trek Picard Season 3. Now streaming on Paramount Plus. This is why, 10 years ago, when the Klingons declared war on us, we absolutely crushed them and were never in any threat whatsoever. Look, you can make the joke about the Romulan War as well, but... yeah. Dang. Way to set a good impression, you know. Win in the short term, lose in the long. The Kirk way. That really is, isn't it? Is he? She doesn't anymore, though. Oh, poor Amanda. I don't know how you stay on this ship, Bones. You're a big racist. Power play, Kirk. Blow up the ship for 10 seconds early. You can't fire me, I quit. How'd they do that effect? Is that remastered? Because, like, I don't think you could have done that in the 60s. But it seems like a lot of effort to have, like, a faked CGI clock when... Or maybe it's like an actual digital clock, but superimposed. It just looks really crisp, but that could be the remaster. Like, it would have been hilarious if they did have an old-timey clock, but... Just that the numbers, like, flip, flip, flip. There's probably people in the audience young enough who don't understand what I mean by flip, flip, flip. And then they leave and the episode ends. I don't think it'd be as good if that happened. What was she gonna say? Like, she gonna take initiative, be like, okay. Like, I don't know. Boo, boo, boo. Kirk certainly is a character. Just... Oh, his eyes move now. Well done. I was gonna say, they probably spent the whole budget of this episode on that puppet, but, like, there's not really much else to spend the budget on. This is why it's the second produced. It doesn't need any other sets. Oh. We may have been supposed to die 2 minutes ago, but by God, I'm still gonna give my coffee. I don't have one of those ships. Had a little baby. Surely you could extrapolate the mass of the ship off of this little chunk. No? Okay. Why the first Federation? Like, was it just the first they know of? Are they anticipating other federations? Is it like, we're the #1 Federation? I'm pretty sure Belloc doesn't want to destroy the ship, but if he did, and I'm misremembering, he could have just launched one of these little ships, tried to destroy the Enterprise, and see if that blew up. Like, check if the Corbomite device actually existed. It's a good title, too. The 60s knew how to do its titles. There's no effect for the tractor beam either. It's like, yeah, it's just working, guys. It's working. I read an article not too long ago that someone built a practical demonstration of a tractor beam. I mean, it could on the macro scale. So like it could only work on like extraordinarily specific circumstances. It's not just like, a tractor beam, but it was kind of a proof that it actually theoretically could exist. Like, it is possible to move things that aren't subatomic using a tractor beam under the right conditions. So, that was nice, because that's always been kind of the least believable technology for me, the tractor beam. Because with warp, it's like, it's subspace, that's got special rules. But the tractor beam just kind of, like, worked. Love the music. They don't do music like they used to either. Just...
Are you going on another old man rant?
Was it? Yeah, in general as well. Also with Star Trek, but... I think it's because they don't have time for these slow scenes. Like, early TNG's the same. I love the music in the first 2 seasons. Like, it's super different from what came afterwards. And a lot of it is just kind of like slow scenes with the time to breathe.
Stop going on your old man rant.
That wasn't even about, like, music these days. It was about... The Star Trek TOS is so good. And TAS as well. TAS is better. But, there's a reason we're still using, like, the original theme song motifs. I love doing the music because I think it makes people freak out a little bit that they're like slightly out of sync, but also I'm never gonna be 100% in sync. Here's something to spot. That shot of people falling in a corridor. Do you think that's the only shot they have for the whole series? We'll have to keep an eye out. Oh, look at that. Look at Bones is shaking. Well done. Wait, was that a woman not in the dress uniform? I forgot they did that early on. In the corridor thing, way at the back. I love oh, look at Spock as well. Just they're shaking. Now I get why they do the super dramatic thing and not just... Look at this. I love it. And then Sulu just, like, not getting into it at all. He didn't get the memo. William Shatner's tired. He's like, I've been shaking for, like, hours. See, he's not even trying. Come on, George. There we go in the back. Yeah, there's a woman with pants on. How radical. Boom. boom, boom. Boo-doo-boo-doo-boo. I bet she's in the background because, like, Gene or someone really wanted to show a woman in pants, but, like, they had to somehow get around it. Like, in the 60s, you would not have seen that on your little televisions. You got here fast.
Would you say they were rolling around at the speed of sound?
No. Wait, Belloc's in that one? I thought Belloc was the only one on the whole big ship. Spock's like, Kirk, what the heck? I never took my ethics class, Kirk. Kirk, you're having such a good track record this episode. Why do you have to add that? Like, that's the implication that there might even be thought that the alien life is less valuable than human life. And I know you haven't invented the Federation yet, but, like, still. Congratulations, Bones. You're probably the only person on a Doctor in a Star Trek show who's resistant to helping people. Except maybe Voyager's Doctor, but he couldn't leave the sickbay for 4 seasons. Quite frankly, Bailey, I'm trying to get rid of you. And, like, this is the best way I can think to do it. I thought there was someone else. Oh, was it Bones? Yeah. Should you really put those on the back? Like, I feel like it's gonna be real easy to get pickpocketed. I mean, they're human. Like, when was the last crime on Earth? 100 years ago? I wonder if this is a budget-saving trick as well. If you build the ship small, you don't have to spend it. But I mean, that's an elaborate set for the 60s. Oh, is that just the Enterprise computer room? Maybe. Oh, no. It was just a generic-looking panel. Hey, Baylock. Fun fact about this actor. They actually appear in a lot of episodes. This one. In Deep Space Nine. Past tense? Future tense? I always confuse that name with something else. But, the Sanctuary District, Bell Riot ones. He's in the second part as the guy who has Dax's communicator and, like, believes in aliens. Then, he's in Enterprise as one of the Ferengi. Then, the most interesting one, he's in, I believe, the second season of Discovery as an Orion. So this guy kind of spans, like, the whole franchise from Belloc to Discovery. I always liked little ties like that. He might be the only. I think there's others. I don't think he's the only one who's been in TOS, the Berman stuff, and Modern. But he's not far. I guess Spock is technically. It's not poison. There are definitely no forms of poison that could be lethal to you, but not me. I mean, wait, okay, but like, what if they looked like Squidward Puppet? You know, I guess especially in TOS, it's a safe bet they look kind of like Belloc, but I've also learned that apparently the voice actor is different from the actor for Belloc. Because when I went to his Memory Alpha page, he's credited as actor, voice, and puppet. Like, those are the people who did his. Finally, I got an excuse. I'm sorry, but Bailey is not going to be appearing in any more Star Trek. Unless I've never noticed, but I'm pretty sure we never see him again. Belloc's gonna eat him. Boop, 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 boop. This is actually a pretty good set. Did TOS actually have a bit of a budget in the early days? Alright, and there we go. Yeah, I've really liked the Corbomite maneuver. Oh god, I've moved the timer. It's like perfectly... Oh no, oh, I'm gonna have to mess with that next week. There we go. Yeah, I've always liked the Corbomite maneuver. I spent a personal favorite. I like the pacing. I think I said in my watch order guide, it's one of the examples of the best of Star Trek in those first 3 episodes, which I really like. You have kind of like a standard episode with where no man has gone before. You've got the Corbomite maneuver, which is one of the highs of the series. Probably like a low high, but still a high. And then Mudd's Women, which is the worst it ever gets. So it's a very good gauge of how you think of the series. But yeah, it's a good one. It's probably as good as I remember. And yeah, I mean the ship's interesting. I like the pacing. It's 50 minutes and it's slow, but they have something to do with the whole 50 minutes, which I think Star Trek usually does. TOS, I don't recall much filler in, but I certainly can't say the same for a lot of 60s television I can think of called Doctor Who. But, yeah, I mean, I think Doctor Who had that problem until the classic series ended, pretty much, more or less, but definitely worse in the 60s. But yeah, if anyone has anything to add, great. Feel free to add it. But otherwise, I think we'll just keep going through most of the weeks until Strange New Worlds. I might go on some of the Buffer Time podcast to do more of their topics. But we'll just continue our agonizingly slow watch through of Star Trek all the way up to my ride reviews started with, I think, Lower Deck Season 2. We might even hold the record for the slowest ever watch through, beating out Alex's own watch through, but we'll have to see how things go. No, it's okay. Don't worry about it. So without...
Shit.
What?
Chad, is Nathan talking shit?
No, I'm just saying that you might actually get through Star Trek faster than we do on this channel-wide watch-through. But yeah,
You're making fun of me.
without further ado then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next